Pine Piper in Dreamland. Once upon a time there was a group of young ladies by the names of Serendipity, Noble, and Destiny. As they were adventuring around, they just happened to stumble upon a field of luscious, soft grass. "Look what I found, girls!" Serendipity pointed towards the grass. Of course Noble was the first to step onto the soft, wondrous field. The girls were so tired from frolicking about, they decided to lay down for a bit. "This bed of grass was made for us!" Destiny exclaimed. Noble and Serendipity nodded in agreement, then they all dozed off without a care in the world. Now surely it's never a smart idea to go falling asleep in any comfy spot you find, but not even Noble, the most cautious of the group, anticipated what was about to occur. Noble was the first to awaken, and she did so just in the nick of time. The grass they fell asleep on was steadily sinking closer to what appeared to be a water tornado. "Destiny! Serendipity! Wake up!" The girls sprung up and noticed what was going on. "What do we do?" "I don't know, but what's that behind you?" Destiny turned her head and just about fainted when she saw a tiny, majestic human with wings floating next to her head. "I've been trying to wake you up before you hit the tsunado. Quick, jump onto that cloud." The girls looked at each other, puzzled as to why he thought a cloud could hold them. "You can trust me. The force of gravity isn't as strong here as it is in your world." And the girls quite literally took a leap of faith onto the nearest cloud. "I don't get how we're floating on this cloud. And who are you?" Serendipity questioned the fairy. With a smile he answered, "Our universes are made up of different material, and it just so happens our water is much more dense than yours, but light enough here to float. And the name's Pine, Pine Piper. On my nightly quest to the mountain, I gazed up into your world to see you three sleeping on the seeping seagrass." "This place is absolutely spectacular. I wouldn't mind staying a while," Serendipity mused. "I'm more concerned about how we're going to get home," Destiny said worriedly. Noble looked toward Piper and exclaimed, "How are we supposed to get home?" Piper replied, "As much as I'd love for you all to stay, it's important that you journey back to your world. If you stay here long enough, you could become too light to keep your feet on the ground in your world." Pine led the way up to the mountain in which he first saw them, and they enjoyed each other's company along the way. Cloud by cloud the girls jumped their way home. "So what's the story behind the tsunado, anyways?" Noble asked Pine. He looked down regrettably and sighed before he told the awful truth. "The pond connecting our worlds has been tainted with waste from your world. It wreaks havoc in our side of the pond, causing chaos and disaster among us." Destiny, now angry with her world for being so inconsiderate, lashes out, "We humans don't think about anything but ourselves. I'm going to see to it that not one more piece of trash gets thrown into the pond." Piper smiled and remarked, "That's nice of you, but if it weren't for them poisoning the pond, the seeping seagrass wouldn't have the radioactive charge to sink down here. Then I would never have gotten to meet such wonderful people. And you humans aren't so bad. Just look at you three. Serendipity, you just so happen to find another world. That's amazing. Noble, you've shown great courage in helping your friends here. You are a brave, strong girl. And Destiny, you've changed my world's fate forever by vowing to keep the pond clean. You have such a kind heart. Each of you are bright, gifted young ladies, and I'm fortunate to have met you guys." Once they reached the cloud closest to the pond, they said their final goodbyes to Piper. They were going to miss him, and at that moment they looked around to cherish the amazing view they had. They looked down to see the clouds hugging the mountains, and above them they could see the moon and stars from their world. At that moment they realized how lucky they were to have witnessed this magnificent place. "Farewell," said Pine to the girls as they got a running start to bounce back into their world. Destiny lifted her head from the grass and noticed that neither Noble or Serendipity had wet hair from coming through the pond. Noble glanced from Serendipity to Destiny, wondering whether what she remembered actually happened. Serendipity yawns and says, "I just had the most spectacular dream." Months go by, and the girls continue to visit the pond. Each time they come, they bring a bag and rid the pond of any litter. It's said that they eventually built a house next to the pond, but the whereabouts of both remain unknown.